So this exercise, this lecture is a little bit special. We have been given a digital exam, so that's something new. So I thought it might be a good idea for you guys to have some information about how this exam is going to work, and also a little bit how possibly it's going to look. Now, I have received a mail from this digital school exam, and I just crudely copied the entire mail. It's in Norwegian and English both, so it should be possible here to find. They are sort of send with the mail here a sort of a template for a message to the students. So you have everything up. The copy should be out on Is Learning, down here on digital exam, and I believe even the links, at least some of them, seems to be working. Now, a couple of things here in the title for the mail. They say we have an exam the 22nd of May. But according to this course information here, we have the 31st. So I have no idea. I don't know. We have to, well, I have to push the system there for an answer, which date is the correct one. So keep both dates open for now. I'll put out the information as soon as I can find it. For the exam itself, in practice, you have some links here, digital exams, and also for the students. And you have to send a mail to the exam office if you want to use some special aids, if you have need for some special aids for the digital exam. That should then mean you can borrow a PC or a laptop or something. I'm not sure. But if you have questions, just send them a mail. They are quite nice people, so they will answer you no matter any questions. Also, one thing, a little worrying, they say that if you have a wireless mouse, keyboard, it probably won't work. So if you're going to use a mouse, use an old one with a wire. Don't use a wireless. That was a little bit, I don't know how they block the radio signal or whatever they do. I'm not sure. So here is the reminder. You need some software, Safe Exam Browser, installed on your computer. Link for the download. And then, of course, charger, whatever you might need. If you have a Mac, that should be okay. So you could use your own computer, shouldn't be any problem there. If they actually disable your own hard drive, that I'm not sure. I guess they do. So whatever you have stored on your hard drive won't be available for you during the exam, I assume. Not that it doesn't worry me if you had access, I don't care. But I guess they will disable it somehow. Be there early. And also you have to be connected to Audio Roam. That's important. So check that one. That's quite vital, I think. For the tests, let's see here. They had some demonstrations, digital exam for the students. Let's try that one. Yeah, well, first, any administrative questions from you before we continue? No, that's okay. Don't they? Yeah, sadly, they have a lot of Norwegian pages, but not all of them are translated into Norwegian. So that's not so good. So you can test the exam here that you have everything okay before the exam date. Yeah, here, report if you want to borrow a PC. And then you need access to the internet, meaning I do Roam. And Windows 7 at least, Mac OS 10.10 at least, and you have to be administrator on your machine. So that should be okay. But I wanted to have, yeah, here we have it. They have put out some test exams, so you can see sort of how they look like, what they look like. So here you are going to need a password as well, if I recall correctly. So I can try this one. No, I can't. Well, let's try it. They have something demos here, but sadly, let's see if they have English. Yeah, they do. Finally. Demo tests. They differ between an ordinary exam here at the, well, with guards and everything, 4 hours, and also they have something called a home exam. So that was something that we could have done, but I think 4 hours should be okay for us. So I think I'm going to go for one of these. Yeah, there you have the password, 3786. Safe exam browser. I have installed the software already on this one, so it was okay. What was the password? 3786. Thank you. I have a memory like a shrimp. Okay. Open. Still Norwegian. Don't we have a possibility to switch language? English. Okay. Yeah. So here they don't have that many pages, but I think they sort of go through all the different possibilities that I have when I'm going to make the exam. So you have radio buttons, meaning you can choose only one. So of course these type of questions, they are not so very nice. It's sort of a multiple choice, of course, but then you can't really show that you have understood a little bit. So for these questions, either you know it or you don't. So that's correct or wrong, sadly. And then check a box so you can check one or more or none. So there are more alternatives, okay. And then they have some options. You can have some questions where you can fill in just a couple of different options, either or here. I think they can do a little bit more, but not much. So I mean, these questions so far are supposed to be automatically corrected when you have delivered the exam. So it's not much that I can ask you with these types of questions. give numbers. Okay, that's fair enough. But we don't use numbers in this course, do we? So still not much. And then multiple choice again. Choose one of numbers, word, whatever. Then you have something that I guess I'm going to use a lot. Sort of, you have an open box. You can write in different formats. Well, formats meaning sizes. So you can write, and I believe you can draw. So here you can make a simple drawing. Like we want to have the boundary condition for an elliptic equation. Then we had a region here, and then you need boundary conditions all around this boundary, like that. So yes, possible to create simple sketches. But not easy here to write equations. So that's something that is missing, a good equation editor. But why should we waste time actually sitting and fighting with the equation editor? What the heck this is, I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be doing much. Well, I don't know. Okay, you have sub and superscripts, so that should be okay. Are you still inside? Yeah, so you are. You should play around with this one so you get familiar with it. I guess. Yeah, that was correct. So, I mean, this is something that you'll have to do, I guess. I plus 1 minus u sub I minus 1 superscript, no, n, yeah, okay. Stuff like that. Of course, I'm going to ask questions about numerical schemes. So how to punch them in. That should be in a freehand. So you should be very, very familiar with your tools here. So play around with it, much as you can.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Now how do you write like derivatives and fractions and sum?
I have no idea.
Maybe
But
the equation sign, no?
Your Greek letters.
This is Greek letter. This is special letter pi, not omega.
Yeah, so there.
Special letter about the logic
That's
equations.
So here you don't have actually partial derivative even. No.
Because I think if we write equations right like this, it's gonna be very time consuming.
Yeah, and also that's not what we are supposed to waste time on during an exam. So I would say don't worry about it. I mean, if you have to write it like this, I will still understand it as long as it's readable, and I will accept any layout, of course, whatever, however you write it. I don't care if you use a little bit of a wrong symbol, still I don't care. So don't worry too much about it. What do we have here? Just put in a table. We don't need that one. Bullets, lists. Paste? No. No. Not much we can do. But whatever tool you have should be here. So get familiar with it. Remember, during the exam, I will be walking around. So if you have something and you just wonder, is this good enough, to ask me. Not don't waste time then to make it very nice and neat. Just ask me, is this good enough? Okay, not a problem. They have some code formats. So the only thing here is that you have a monospaced font and you get the line numbers. So I guess this is for an exam where you have to do a lot of programming. Not so important for us. So this one, you don't have an additional tool, it's just writing anyway, so don't worry about that one either. But what you then should check is that you have all special signs, that everything works, that you have all of these where they should be.
I use origin cable to have art, but that's more work.
Yeah.
Have the email ad.
Yeah, but you don't need this one in my exam.
Also bracket.
Yeah, these, of course, should be there. So test it if necessary. Okay, that was fun. But yeah, maybe I could make something here. Oh yeah, maybe not with the planets, but if this, yeah, that could be a good one. So I could give you a lot of labels here and then create a numerical scheme, or yeah, might be an idea. But I think this is it. I don't think we have any further. No. And then you can submit, and then you're done. And I think here you don't have any option to go back. If you have click submit, then you're done. I don't think you can, oh, I forgot something, or something like that. Okay, that was the tools. So not much, but at least the little there is, you should be quite familiar with, of course. Let's see, do I still have, I don't have access to anything on my computer. Alt-Tab doesn't work. That one doesn't work. Alt-Control-Delete, no. So they really lock down your computer. Nothing seems to be working, but my wireless mouse is working. That's something. But maybe you shouldn't be dependent, or I would still be a little worried when they say wireless mouses may not work. Then you should try to find an old one with a wire. Okay, I'll just exit this one. If I can, yes. So, what can we do? Exam for a couple of years ago. And I'm I'm still going to do the same thing, give you some mandatory problems concerning finite differences that all of you should know and has to be answered, and then a second part where you can choose. So the choices then between finite volume, unstructured meshes, or you can choose fast solvers, multigrid, Krylov methods, conjugate gradients, or you can choose turbulence. So that one will still be there. If you sort of are in doubt and answer more than one, that is your choice, but it doesn't help at all. So I'll only pick one of them, and then it might be arbitrary which one I pick. So try to focus on just one. So, I mean, this is just to sort of inform you the rules of the game. How am I going to make one of these classical exams into this digital style? So, I mean, you can help me out here. How can we do it? Like in the first question here, this one should be fairly straightforward. There you'll have this window, the open window, where you can just write and even make a drawing, a sketch if you like, to explain different concepts. So this one shouldn't be a problem to make at all. That one should be quite okay. Okay, discreticize using an forward time and then a mix, central difference and first order upwind for this one. Okay, that will give you just an option just to write the answer directly, but then you will have a lot of u, I plus 1, so on and so forth, but get used to this subscript, superscript to write all the indexes. Then you should be able to do that. The solution we had here. So to write something like this, yes, it should be absolutely possible in this longhand question form. Should be okay. So even with alpha, of course, I will try to make the questions so easy as possible for you guys, so you don't have to switch finding the Greek letters if necessary. I could just as well call this one a big A or something. So I'll try to make it easy, of course. So use the Max-Mean method to find the stability criteria. So it's always a danger with this multiple choice like exams. The students, they are not given the opportunity to show that they have understood something. You can start out correct, but then you do something, a mistake, and then you get a wrong answer. And you have the only option to give the final answer. Then I don't know when I do the correction of the exam that, okay, the students has actually understood a lot of it, but only a small error. It can be hard to see from the final answer only. But with this possibility that you can sort of write as much as you want as an answer, try also to set up several steps, not give the final answer if possible. So these, the question B, well, that one is fairly simple. So, but still that you then explain the methods, sum of the coefficient is 1, all coefficients positive, then you get an answer, so on and so forth. That should be okay. Find the modified equation. Okay, if you are quite convinced that you have found the correct one, then for such a question like that, I would accept that you just write the final answer. That would be okay. You have still found it. I mean, if the exam question says show that or find the answer and explain how you obtained it, okay, then you need all the steps in between. But if you only need the final answer, then that would be enough. So if it says find the answer, then it's your choice if you gamble and just write the last final answer. Sad thing is, if this one is dead wrong and actually you have something correct here that's not part of your answer, then you don't get any score for it. So that's the negative side. So that will be your choice. How much will you bring into your answers? But as I said, I'll be there, so you can ask me during the exam, should I take this with the answer or not? So here I assume, of course, you have been given some paper that you can write on, do some notes for yourself before you then start punching in the correct answers. So sadly, the paper will then not be delivered, I think. So for this one, again, FTCS stability criteria. You see, for all of these questions, I will clearly have to use this open form that you can write whatever you want. So these questions, they are not good questions, not suitable, I would say, for any multiple choice, any radio buttons, stuff like that. That's a sort of a waste of time, I would say. Also here, it's trying to give, I mean, I can create 10 different schemes and then you have to pick the right one. What's the value of that? I don't see the point at all. But write it down yourself. Yes, that is something I require from you. Yeah, Gauss-Seidel, Jacobi, SOR should be fairly okay to write straightforward what this looks like. And I mean, if you want to write it as a fraction, or if you write parentheses and then divide by delta t, I don't care, of course. So don't worry too much about the layout in the end for the exam here. So here we are in fast solver questions. Explain, work unit, restriction. Draw a simple sketch. Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard, although not easy to draw with a mouse, but you should be able to do it. And prolongation. And describe briefly what is this and what they actually are doing. Here I assume I can create an exam where you have this one on the left side and then you have some open boxes where you can write, I guess. I haven't tried it yet to make such a digital exam, but should be possible, I think. Yeah. So I would say a lot of these questions are going to be in this open form where you can write and draw and do whatever you want, actually. That should be quite obvious. So prepare yourself for an ordinary exam, like the three that you have here. It's going to be of the same type, same question form, same everything. So don't worry then that it's going to be digital. The questions are going to be fairly of the same type anyway. Okay, any questions from you? No? It doesn't frighten you using a digital exam? I guess not. Does anybody know now that they need a computer? Need to borrow one? No? Okay. I have an old one that I can bring just in case if one of you have a computer crash. Of course it is going to happen, always. Murphy's law. So I can bring an additional computer just in case. That shouldn't be a problem. It said you should be there fairly early, 8:30, half an hour before the exam begins. So I'll guess I'll also show up fairly early. Where the exam is going to take place, I'm not sure. They have some computer rooms in here at campus. I believe it's going to take place up here, but I'm not certain. So, but as soon as I find out, I will put out the information here on East Learning. And more vital, is the exam going to be on the 21st or the 31st or the 22nd, as they claimed here? That was a little bit weird. Yeah, so I will ask the system and then put out the information for you. Furthermore, you might want to have some question lectures. So we have either on Monday here or Wednesday here in May the exam, but I would say 2 or 3 days in advance before an exam. Normally then I will invite you to show up for say 2 hours, and then you can ask me anything. When you are preparing for the exam, then you might end up having some questions. So we can take somewhere, we could use this room, it should be big enough I think, for any questions like that. But I will then put out, as soon as I find out when we have the exam, then I'll reserve this room, and then we can have a couple of hours with questions, whatever you are wondering about the course. So a question lecture will also be here. Okay, then tomorrow we will play around a little bit further with OpenFOAM for those of you who are interested, trying to make our own version of some of these codes. So that will then be tomorrow. But besides that, we are done with the course.
Can you say that when you're done?
Tomorrow, yeah, we have been fighting a little bit with OpenFOAM so far, but only done these classical tutorials. But tomorrow we'll try to make some programming, meaning you can play around with the source code, make your own OpenFOAM version. Sadly, the memory pins that you have been given by me doesn't work. They are running, it's a light Ubuntu version where you don't have all the software needed. So I have to provide you with some other older version. If you have it installed on your own computer, that's okay, but if you want to run it on the memory pin, then I need to give you an older one. But then it should be an option to modify a solver and make your own version, for those of you who are interested. Other questions?
So which room tomorrow?
I think it was Kjell 4, was it? I believe. helt for tomorrow. Other questions? No? Then we stop here.